Okay, so, let's go over, so we have a few things. So before we start, let's do prayer and prayer requests. Actually, we already started, but hello, thanks for joining. We just went over homework, but we're about to pray. Any prayer requests? Anyone affected by the hurricane? Any family in mountains or Tennessee or anything? That's good. Any other requests? No? Alright, let's go and pray. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this wonderful day. Thank you that we are here. I pray that Anna is safe as she travels. I thank you for all of your wonderful things that you do. I pray for everyone who is being affected by the hurricane. I pray for their families. Pray that you get them out safely and you just help them recover as best as they can. Pray that we have a wonderful day and you help us learn all the things we need to learn. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Alright, so Luke, were you able to watch the video? You do not. Okay. Make sure you go back. I'll let you know your mom about that. But
I don't have, you want to do the classroom.
okay, your mom did email me and I did email her back.
Yeah,
and
she
you
sent
back.
that, but I don't have a Google account anymore. I don't know. I gotta keep that on my old one for some reason.
Okay, so make a new one with a new email. And you have to be doing because that's where I put grades and all the homework and updates. So, make sure you get that done. So we're going to go over one thing, just one little section, and then we have a test review because I'm sending a test home with you. And so we're going to do a test review in class together to help you with that. And then we'll have a short little formulas quiz, it's like 5 questions. I think that's all. Alright, so let's go to page 59. We're going to look at compound area. So this is very similar as regular area. You're just kind of basically putting a few shapes together. So, let's see. So some of the formulas that we know are obviously like a rectangle or a square or a triangle, those shapes. So if you look at this compound area right here, this shape, you can cut it into different shapes, kind of like what we did with the triangles. You can cut it into 2 shapes, and then so you'll have to find the area of both of those and then add them together so that you can find the total. So sometimes, so that is what you call an additive. So sometimes you'll have a subtractive, which is when like you have this square here, and this is kind of like a square donut if you think about it. So we have the big square and we're kind of subtracting the small square. So we need to find the areas of both of them and then subtract them. As it kind of just depends on whatever they're asking you. So in the first example, you found the area of the rectangle, which is base times height. 4 times 5 was 20 inches, plus base times height divided by 2, or half times base times height, was 3. So you added 20 plus 3, and your total area was 23 inches squared. And then the second one, the subtractive example, we have the big square rectangle. I don't know if it's a square. It is. Base times height, 3 times 3 was 9. Subtract the 2 times 2, which is 4, and you got 5 centimeters squared. So whenever you do subtractive, make sure you're subtracting the big minus the small, so you don't get confused. Okay? Alright, this is going to be relatively quick. So we have, let's see, number 1, find the area of each shape on page 60. Alright, so we have this hatchet looking thing. So we have 2 rectangles, you can split them. I just split it for you. Did I split it for you? No. Alright, so it has, since you're on all of them, so it has this right here. So you can split it, ooh, that's wonky. You can split it here to get 2 smaller rectangles, or the easiest way, because you have this, and you have this, so you're able to find the area of this rectangle, as well as this rectangle. Alright, so if we split it, we don't have the side length of this rectangle, we only have 3, but we do have to have the total. So if we do the total minus this part, what is the side for this going to be? What's 15 minus 8?
That's it.
So we have the total, subtract this part of it, this is what's left. So now we're able to split these up. So in these, I'm going to tell you to draw out these separate shapes, because I promise you it is very helpful, because when you have like 4 triangles and you're trying to keep track of all of it, it is very helpful when you actually draw out the separate shapes and label them so that you know exactly what you're doing. Okay? And it makes it a lot easier. So if we have base times height, again, we always write our formula. 3 times 7 is 21 centimeters squared, plus, very important that you know that you are adding them together, plus base times height again. 8 times 2, 16 centimeters squared. Alright, so this is not, we don't stop here, we have to add them together. So now we do 21 plus 16. And it is 37 centimeters squared. So this is your total compound area. We're good? Alright. So we have number 2. We made another. So clearly not to scale. We have 4, 3, 6, and 9. Alright, so there are kind of 2 ways we could split this up. We can do it here or here. So we have a big rectangle on top. We're adding it to the smaller rectangle. Make sure you know exactly what you want to do. So we have 6 here. And then we have this one, but part of it is 3, the other part is 4, so what's the whole side length going to be?
7.
Yep. And then we have this small one here. Part of it is 4. Or, I'm sorry, one side is 4, and then we have part of, the whole thing is 9. Part of it is 6, so what's left over is, what? 9 minus 6.
3.
Alright, so area equals base times height. Yes, you need to write this every time on homework as well. 7 times 6, and then 3 times 4. And then you add them together. 1, 2 plus 12. And do 4 feet squared. The total area. Good. I'm going too fast now. Alright, number 3, we have a shape like this. Alright, so this is a little bit different. We don't have 2 rectangles now, we have possibly a triangle looking thing. So the easiest thing I'm going to do is make it a triangle. Okay? So we have 17 inches at the top, 10 inches, 13 inches, hypotenuse 7 inches, and then I think that's what we have. Alright, so the whole side of the big rectangle is 17. Part of it is 13. What is the remaining side here? Sorry?
4.
Yes. Very good. So we don't know if it's a right triangle, it's not listed. So we do have to do the formula. For the triangle. We don't have the height, actually. Sorry. guess you do the. So the big, oh, I didn't drop out, sorry. We have 17 and 10. We have the triangle. So we don't want the height, so we don't need to do that right there. A squared. Excuse me. Try to do that for me. What's 60 minus or 40 minutes? Gosh, sorry. Thank you. Alright, somewhere. Alright, look at what B is for me. I know what B is, but. Anyone? Anyone? With your calculator. What is it? What is the square root of 33?
Six.
Just 6? Oh, it's someone to find it. I know the answer. Someone to find it. What's the square root of 33? We've only done this 18 million times. 5.7. Thank you. 5.74. Alright, now we know this. So this height right here is 5.74 inches. Now we can actually find the area. Area equals base times height, which is 17 times 10, which is 170 inches squared. And then the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2, or half times base times height, same thing. The base is 4, the height is 5.74, divided by 2. Area of that triangle is 11.48 inches squared. Okay, now we gotta add. 170 plus 11.48 equals
181, 148.
yes, 48 inches squared. Lots of steps. You see how everything's added on to it? Like if you didn't know the Pythagorean theorem, then you couldn't find this one. That's why I did the Pythagorean theorem. For this one, geometry, if you don't know the Pythagorean theorem, then you can't do compound area. Everything adds together. Any questions on this one? Very important to stay organized so that you are not forgetting steps and you know exactly what you are doing. Alright. Those are all additive compound areas. Let's do a subtractive one where you have to subtract two different things. Alright, number 4, we have this funky looking one. Alright, so if you split it here, that's a weird shape and a rectangle. You can't split it here. I guess theoretically you could kind of maybe do a trapezoid, but the easiest way that we're gonna do this Who can guess? What do you think, Meredith? Okay, I will tell you. We're going to make a triangle. And we're going to do the big rectangle minus the triangle. Alright, so we can actually go ahead and, so we have the big, everyone see the big rectangle minus the triangle. And we're gonna get our area. Because this isn't part of our area. We're subtracting that. So the sides here are 18 and 39. And then we need this one and this one. So we have 4. The whole side here is 18. Part of it is 4. What's the rest going to be here? 18 minus 4 is what? 14. Same thing here. We have the whole side is 39 of the rectangle. If part of it is 26, the other part is going to be something. 39 minus 26 is 13. Okay. Now, we have the base and the height of the triangle, so we don't have to do the Pythagorean. But we do need to find the area of both. Area equals base times height equals 39 times 18. Area equals, we'll do it this way, 1/2 times base times height. Always do the half at the end, by the way. 13 times 14. Who can tell me what 39 times 18 is? I don't want to do it all for you.
702.
Thank you. 702 meters squared. And then what is 13 times 14 times 1/2? 91 meters squared. So we are not adding these because we're not finding the whole rectangle, we're finding just this part. So we are subtracting them. So we're doing 702 minus 91 equals something meters squared. What is 702 minus 91?
611.
Yep. 611. Very good. Alright, let's go to the next page. I know there's 2 more on that page, but the next 2 pages will continue on that. Alright, so those are a little bit less complicated ones. Now let's get to the ones that are a little bit more complicated. Number 7, let's do number 8. Okay, so we're finding the area of these shaded, finding these shaded area. So we have a big rectangle. We have a small rectangle in it. We're finding this square donut. So we have 4 and 15 inches with the side lengths. And then we have 19 and 7. Alright, so we're doing a subtractive again. So we have the big rectangle, which is 19, 7, subtracting the smaller rectangle, which is 4 and 15. And so we will get what is left of the shape. Area equals base times height, 19 times 7. Area equals base times height, 15 times 4. Alright, I'm going to give you a minute to find those 2 areas. And I want you to find the total, whatever it is. So find the area of the 2, and then you're going to subtract the small one from the big one. I've been looking for my phone and it's recording me. Why didn't anybody tell me?
73.
Is the total?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, what's the area of the big rectangle?
133.
133 inches squared. What's the small rectangle?
60.
60 inches squared. So we have 133 minus 60 is 73 inches squared. Very good. Alright, let's do number 9. This one's always a fun one. Looks like a Lego. Alright, so we have shape with 4 circles in it. Okay, and all the circles are the same. The radius is 2. And then we have a square, which is 10 inches on both sides. And we're finding the shaded area, which is the outside, not the circles. So, we're going to do another subtractive problem. So, we have a big square, and you're going to subtract not 1, 2, 3, 4 circles, areas. Yes, you have to do them all. Yes, you can probably find one and they're all the same, but we do need to draw them out. So, the area is s squared, 10 squared is 100 inches squared for the big one. Alright, and then we have formula for a circle. What is the formula for area of a circle? I hope y'all know, because you're about to have a quiz on it. What's the formula for the area of a circle?
5 times radius squared.
Yep. 5r squared. Pi times the radius, which is 2 squared. 2 squared is 4. 4 times pi. We're always do pi at the end. Which is 12.57. Okay, not only that one, they're all 12.57. You don't have to write it 4 times. Like the formula. They're all the same. Alright, so now we have 100 minus, 4 times 12.57. 4 times 12.57 is 50.28. So 100 minus 50.28 equals 49.72 inches squared. Yes.
So can you just, if you found the radius and say it was 13, could you just multiply them times 4 and then subtract your answer?
If they're all the same, and they all have the same radius of 2, so they're all the same. So you don't have to write it 4 times. Yeah, because you would be writing the exact same thing 4 times. So at 12.57, I did it times 4. Yep. If it is easier for you, if it makes more sense in your head to write 12.57 4 times, by all means. But it's probably not easier. All right. Do it again. Let me see. What time is it? You have to watch. I'm sorry, my phone's up there. 10. Okay. So, we'll do one more of these, and then we will start our test review. Let me see. I think number 10 or number 12, those are good ones to start with. Or we could do a funky one like number 17 on the next page. Which one y'all want to do? Or we can do 14. Whichever one that looks the more difficult one to you, we'll do it together. Doesn't matter which one. We know which one.
12.
12. Okay, got it. Alright, so we have this shaded area. What is given to you? Okay, so the big rectangle. So we have this rectangle. And we have these triangles on the edge, right? And then we have some congruence symbols, which is very helpful. So this whole side is 13, right? And this whole side is 8. And then we have, it gives us 4 centimeters and 3 centimeters, which is very helpful because if that's 3 centimeters, that's 3, that's 3, that's 3, that's 4, that's 4, and that's 4. So those congruent symbols are very important. So the shaded region is the middle. So we're going to do the big rectangle. We're going to subtract all of the triangles. Make sure you do all of them and not just one of them. Thankfully, we have all of the side links. And then we have 13 and 8. So the area equals base times height. So 13 times 8. The area for the rectangle is 1/4 centimeters squared. And then we have 4 triangles, so we just need to find one of them. Area equals 1/2 base times height. Base times height is 3 times 4 times a half. So half of 12 is 6 centimeters squared. Alright, now we actually have to do it all. So we have the big one, which is 1/4. Subtracting 4 of the triangles, which is 6. So 4 times 6,
24.
which is 24, yep. 1/4 minus 24,
80.
80. 80 centimeters squared. Okay. Alright, so we will probably continue to do this next week. I am giving you a test to take home, so I am not going to make you do homework in the workbook because I feel like that's a lot, because the test is pretty hefty. So we will continue to work on this next week, and you'll probably have homework with that for next week. So we are done with the textbook. Now I am going to So I'm going to pass out your quizzes that you did last 2 weeks ago. And we will go over them very quickly, and we're going to do a test review, which is a lot of what this quiz is. The test and the test review is pretty much this, with more examples. So I'm going to pass these out to you. If you would like to talk about it, then please come up to me and talk to me about it. If you don't come to me, then I am assuming that you're okay with your grade, and you don't want to do anything about it. Alright, so I'm going to go over these quickly because you see what we have wrong. Number 1 was acute angle. If you would like to write them in, feel free to do so. Okay, if you want to study or something like that. I already have the grade, so you can keep it. Number 2, write the symbol for ray. I'm going to write them up here because some of you got part of it right and part of it wrong. We have AB. Ray goes in one direction. Number 3 was vertex. Number 4, write the symbol for line. Lines have arrows on both sides. And you're writing it above that. If you wrote it to the side, like if the letters were here, and you just put this to the side, I have no idea where you think that's supposed to go, so I had to get it wrong. Okay? Okay. Number 5 was translation, which is a slide. Number 6, the symbol for line segment. It's just the line on top. Number 7 was straight angle. Number 8, write the symbol for two congruent line segments. There were two parts to this. You have AB and AB. This is what it gave you. If you wrote the congruent part, awesome. Is that angle AB? Is that right? You need to write the line segments. Okay? I don't know what they are unless you gave me the symbols. Number 9 was right triangle or right. Number 10, parallel lines. Again, we have the lines. This is what I gave you. Lines. And they are parallel. This is a parallel sign, but you also have to put the line symbol on top of the AB. Number 11, obtuse. Number 12, perpendicular. Lines. Again, we have the AB. You need to make sure that those are lines. Perpendicular is a little upside down T. These are very important. Don't know. Number 12, which is that one. Number 13, Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Number 14 is bisect. If you have a question, raise your hand and stop me. Number 15 is midpoint. 16, congruent. 17, polygon. 18, point. 19, rotation. Excuse me. 20 is hypotenuse. 21 is reflection. In the back, 22 is dilation. 23 is plane. 24 is scaling. 25, scale factor. 26, isosceles. And 27, perimeter. Then you have your bonus ones. Yeah, 3, 4, 5. This is the most common one. You got 18, 15, 17, 7, 24, 25. Please keep those. And so this. Alright, so next, I'm giving you a test review. We're going to go through this. This is all stuff that you had 2 quizzes on already. And we talked about it a lot. So we're going to go over this relatively quickly. One, you kind of have to. And 2, you know that this should be easy breezy. So this is what is on your test that I'm going to give you to take home. And we'll go over that also. Alright, so I am going to ask you and you're going to tell me. Alright, this is your test review, so I want you to give me the answers if you know that. Alright, just tell me out. Alright, we have identify and give symbols for the following. Number 1. What is this?
Right triangle.
It's not a triangle. Right what?
Angle.
Angle, right angle. It is a right angle. You need to write the name you are identifying it. And give symbols. On your test, if it tells you to do 2 things, I better have 2 separate answers. Identify, right angle, and we have, it's angle ABC. Or if it says give symbols, so something that you know from this is AB is going to be parallel to CB. Alright, number 2. What is that?
Scale.
Yes.
Parallel or perpendicular?
I'm sorry, perpendicular, yes. I said parallel, it's perpendicular. I wrote perpendicular instead of parallel, thank you for clarifying. Alright, number 2. What is that? Yes. Line segment. That is line segment, AB. Number 3. Oh, we have to faster than this. Right AB. The symbol is this. Number 4, what is that?
Plane.
Lane. What's the name of it?
COW.
COW. Alright, number 5. You have all these bunch of lines. You are looking at the arc. Okay, so just the ones that have the arc on them, there are 2 there. What is the name for the whole angle? HIF, or if you do it backwards, FIH. Both are correct. Next page. Number 6, write the symbols for them. Parallel. Parallel. Looks like an 11. Congruent. Equal sign with the squiggle on top. Perpendicular. Upside down T. Number 7. Identify the following angles. What are they? What is A? Obtuse. B? Right. C?
Acute.
Acute. D?
Straight.
Straight. Number 8. Draw the following angles. Estimate. You don't have to get out of the protractor. So a 78 degrees is going to be acute, so it's going to be less than 90. So somewhere around there. Ish. As long as it's less than 90 and doesn't look like this, you're fine. I'm not going to sit there and measure it. Alright. Then we have 156. Again, that is, just draw it out. Obtuse, it's not straight, it's not all the way 180, but it's more than a right angle. So somewhere here. Okay, number 9 says draw an angle and bisect it. It could be any angle. Bisecting, you are splitting it in half. Sorry. Could be a big angle, it could be a small angle, as long as you are splitting it in half. Alright, next page. Number 10, we're identifying all parts. Alright, we have this funky thing here. So I'm just going to, let's see, go through. So we have parallel symbols, we have congruent symbols, and we have a right angle. So we're going to say that AB is parallel to CD. Line segments. We have CD is perpendicular to HE. Is that right angle? And then we have the 2 lines there. We have EF is congruent, I'm sorry, the line segments. It's congruent to GH. Okay, number 11, you're looking at angles. Angle A is congruent to angle D. Angle B is congruent to angle E. Angle C is congruent to angle F. Make sure you are putting that angle symbol and the congruence. 12. H is the midpoint of GI. Solve for X and then tell me the measurement of GI. So there are 2 problems there. Solve for X and tell me the measurement. So if these midpoint and they're congruent on both sides, you're saying 4x plus 11 equal to 2x plus 19. You're going to solve that. You'll get x equals 4. And now that you have x, you need to plug the x back in to both of those sides. So you're going to get GH is equal to 27 and HI is equal to 27. They should be equal because they're both congruent. On the test, I do expect you to write that out, but we don't have time for that right now. Alright, 13, classify the triangle. There are 2 names for it. Make sure you write both.
Right.
Center right.
I saw somebody's
is isosceles. What type of isosceles? It's acute. Alright, sorry, one of those. Just make sure I get everything. Alright, identify if it's a translation, sorry, that cut off on one. Translation, rotation, reflection, or dilation. The first one, what is 14?
Dilation.
Dilation. There are different sizes, they're dilation, most likely. 15, what is that one?
14.
Translation. That's just the slide. 16, use the Pythagorean theorem. You use the Pythagorean theorem, you get x equals 20. You are going to write out the entire a squared plus b squared equals c squared. You're going to plug it all in. C in this scenario is x. You can replace it either way. 12 squared plus 16 squared equals x squared. If you solve it, x equals 20. Alright, number 17, is this a right triangle? We have 28, 45, and 53. In order to do that, you do the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. You're going to plug in the two smaller ones to the a and b, which is 28 and 45. And see if it equals 53 squared. If you solve it, it's 784 and 225 equal to 289. And they both equal 2,809. So yes, it is a right triangle because they're both equal. It comes out true. Okay, last two. Use the Pythagorean triple. Literally use the Pythagorean triple. Alright, so we have 15, 16, and 39. You need to know the triples for this. Okay, so if we are to use our triple, the triple that is used is a 5, 12, 13, and it has a scale factor of 3. Can't really solve that one unless you know triples. Alright, then we use the Pythagorean theorem or a triple. If you use the Pythagorean theorem, you get x equals 21 both ways. So x squared plus 72 squared plus 75, equals 75 squared. You're going to get x squared equals the square root of 441, which is 21. Okay. Any questions on that specifically?
So what was the answer to number 9?
Number 9,
Yeah.
you just draw an angle, whatever the angle was, and you bisect it. You just draw it in half. On your test, it's going to give you the angle, and all you have to do is bisect it. You're splitting it in half. Alright, so really quickly, this is going to be the last thing. It's 7 questions. You just put them on this. So I'm going to give you your test now. It is quite lengthy. Make sure you give yourself appropriate time to do so. Okay? The review on your test. Do not use it for the test. Okay? You should not be using anything to take the test. Review, look over it before, study before, and then take your test with nothing else. Please, I beg of you, please don't cheat. This is your homework for this week. This is your next week. Okay. 1 through 29, vocabulary. A lot of the same things that you've had 2 vocabulary tests on. Number 30, 31, 32, you're going to do what we just did from the review. You're going to name what that is. It says, write the figure names and symbols. So you have the names and symbols. 33, 34, 35. It says measure the following equals. You do not have to measure them. You can mark that out. because you don't have a protractor. We're not measuring it.
So
Just identify them as acute, obtuse, or straight, or right.
Wait, mark out which ones?
On 34, 30, 33, 34, 35, it says measure the following angles, you do not have to measure it. All you are doing is identifying them. I mean, if you want to look on a protractor, you can, but you don't want to do that, so. You can estimate, and, you know, whatever. Alright, number 36, 37, you're gonna name the following angles using the symbol for the angle. So, number 36, you're looking at angle 7, 37, you're looking at the arc point. 38, 39, 40, you are writing the symbols. 41, 42, it says find the measure of each angle to the nearest degree. Just estimate, you do not have to measure it. If you put it for 41, if you put 1 degree, then that's wrong. But like, I'm not gonna be super big there. As long as it is somewhat of an acute or obtuse angle, just estimate, okay? 43, 44, draw an angle with the given measurement. Again, estimate, just like we did for the review. 45, we're bisecting that. 46, 47, 48, you're identifying all the congruent angles, line segments, perpendicular line segments, and parallel line segments using the correct symbols. 50, 51, you are solving for x. Very top says solve for x. 52, 53, 54, you're classifying the triangle. Make sure if it has 2 names, you're writing both names. And then 55, 56, 57, you're writing translation, rotation, reflection, and elevation. Okay, so pretty much everything we used to cover on the test review. Any questions on that? Okay, that's your homework. Okay, put everything up. And it's due next week. If you give it to me after that, I'm gonna have to take points off. Okay, put everything up. Very quick quiz. If you need extra time, we can go out there. Don't rush. We have plenty of time. Don't rush. Okay? That's literally 7 questions. You will use one of them 2 times. You will use one letter 2 times. Do not rush. If you need extra time, you can absolutely go out there and do it together. Okay? So that was a lot. I just stuck in there.